Hello again. Here we're going to look at the lens pulling matters. Now, in all of these scenario analyses relative to the base case, I'm looking to make one change in isolation so that I can assess the performance delta relative to the base case. Here, we're going to consider two kinds of pulling. One deals with pulling the anesthesiologists, and the other is going to be other deals with pooling of the ORs. I'm not going to consider simultaneous pooling of those two. So what I'm really trying to do here is in this early going is to assess, those performance deltas, by small changes. You can always come back in and put together, a composite scenario, and we'll do that in our final clip. But it's kind of important to assess, where the value is coming from. Now, in some situations, pooling is going to be the silver bullet, and it's going to get you, where you want to be with regard to some, the KPIs. And in other situations, it may not be as powerful. So one thing to notice here is that, in fact, all of the patients are pooled. We're serving them, across all BMI categories, essentially as, one composite customer. And one could unpool that. I'm not going to pitch that particular change here, but it is, something that you can consider. We'll look at that idea under the rubric of variance matters, and the reason I'm able to sell it as a variance matters innovation is because the lower BMI folks have lower variance. So if I were to sort of split the patient pool into two, let's say, lighter BMI folks and heavier BMI folks, then the lighter BMI folks will have lower variance in their surgery times. And of course, we know that, the morbidly obese have highly variable service times. That is, typically a consequence of the fact that they are have a high BMI. Okay, so I'm in the base case settings here now. Again, you can change these things by going to simulation main, and you can see all the parameterization here. In the base case, we have one anesthesiologist in each of those anesthesiology resource pools. That's this one here, anesthesia pros A and anesthesia pros B. You can also go ahead and change these numbers if you want. It's tedious, but one by one. But I kind of like just doing it here in simulation main because I can see where everything is. All right, now I want to run two changes for you. And this is going to be, unfortunately, a little bit more elaborate than just changing the numbers, because we're going to be pulling the anesthesiology pros. And then I'm going to assume that all the anesthesiology pros are located in pool A. So let's make that 2. And I'm going to take the one in who's in pro B and make that a 0. Now, what I need to do when I seize the anesthesiologist here is to seize that anesthesiologist from the right pool, and that's going to be pool A. Okay, so I need to make that change as well. And so now what's going to happen is there's 2 anesthesiology pros here. I think it's okay with regard to who does the sedation, whether this is a viable process innovation or not. It may be subject to medical considerations and maybe licensing, not licensing, but there may be a consult or something that gets in the way of you being able to sort of just pull an anesthesiologist out of a resource pool and assign them to the patient on the fly. So let's assume that is okay, and let's run this. And again, I want to observe with you the early going. These time plots, just hope that it actually takes off without any errors. It's conceivable. No, it looks like we're running. So I'm going to set us up for 570 minutes. Okay, that again is my early start through 5:30 p.m. And these time plots show about 100 minutes. So You can see that this is 0 because there are no folks there. 69–70% of the anesthesiologist's time has been, working in a working state. So that's rising. So the first anesthesiologist is working, and now this first surgery has commenced. How do we know that? You can see this surgery, has commenced here. It's not done yet, and there's a surgery underway in B also. Okay, so that second anesthesiologist is, we don't know which one has been assigned to A and B. There's two, but they're both working. We can see the time plots. There just wasn't space to provide that in this one screen. But everything is proceeding as before, with the exception that we've now pulled these anesthesiologists. And that is still our bottleneck, right? It's the one in red. So I'm going to speed this up just a tad so we can see what happens. So that second surgery is going here. And then at the point where we get a one here, that would mean the surgery is complete. And then the anesthesiologist would be available for sedation. Now, maybe this anesthesiologist who did this sedation or did, this sedation in this track may get deflected to track B because, both tracks are pulling from the same pool. Okay, so that first surgery is done. And I think the same anesthesiologist would likely just do the second sedation here. Might be this one, I don't know. Okay, we've got one completion, and that surgeon is now not working. Now has started the second surgery here. You can see there it started. Same here. So two have commenced surgery, one is completed. The first surgeon's operating room is now cleaned. Excuse me, the first surgery's OR is clean. And so on. So let's now speed this up and go to the end. Key here is, did this pooling matter? And unfortunately, it didn't get us 6 surgeries. It got us 4. We'd have to replicate this with a different run. You can see what's going on here. Let's have a look at our pool. So there's 2 anesthesiologists in Pro A pool and none in Pro B pool. I'll run this one more time. You'd have to run it maybe a couple, 3, 4, 5 more times to better estimate what's going on. 195 and 216, these are relatively high flow times. So it didn't look like pooling really mattered here, but it is a possible innovation that has legs to, if something is going to go your way, pooling generally will help. Okay, so I'm going to change these random seed on this. It's around here somewhere. It's under randomness, as I recall. No, I need to go to simulation main, and then it lives down here. And just any other number. 2020, how about that? Just any number will be good. Any other different number, right? So we'll run it again and just see if that was a representative run. Get it out to 570. So the key here is, you are making process innovations, and you'd have to document this and then kind of review your result at the end. So I got all the way out to 570, and you can see I only completed three surgeries here. So in fact, that first run was favorable compared to what happened here. The completion times 195 and 199. So I think we're getting a sense that these flow times are around 200 minutes. Yet I'm having them arrive every 90 minutes. So maybe that is too fast relative to what the speed at which the system is able to operate. And what do we know? Well, the anesthesiologists are very heavily utilized. So this pooling didn't help here at all, really. Okay. The fact that I pulled them, this meant essentially nothing performance-wise. Okay, so let's go ahead and back this out. I'm going to change this back to anesthesiology pool B. So I want the C's anesthesiologist. See where I changed that up here. So I'm going to revert that to what it is in the base case. I'm going to set my anesthesiology pull up as it was originally. So 1 and 1. And what I'm going to do as a final pooling idea is to pool the ORs. So same kind of logic. I'm just going to throw them all in one pool. I don't care. I'm not, forcing, the surgeon who worked in track A to always work in 2 particular rooms. Just, the next available room would be fine. So I'm going to lump all of the ORs into a single pool. That's going to be called pool A. So there they are, 4 in A, 0 in B. And then, as you guessed it, I need to go and change the operating room that is grabbed here. So when I seize an OR, seize an OR in track B, I'm going to go and get it from the only pool where these folks are. So let me just see where this is. It's right here. I'm going to seize from pool A now. Okay. Very good. And let's just confirm that I, in fact, have pool A and pool B. There it is. 4 in pool A, none in pool B. And let's go ahead and run this. Okay, so I'll run it slowly. We just to see what's happening here. Okay, first surgery is underway in both tracks here. First is done. And sorry, first surgery is underway still. Here's the surgery. Okay. You can see that the anesthesiologists are separated now. There's 1 in each pool here. They're working flat out, right? 95, 96%. Got a first surgery complete in track A, track B also. Finished in 135 and 145, respectively, in the 2 tracks. Second surgeries are underway now in track A and now in track B. And so it goes. See, now I've got no utilization on that pool because we took all the ORs out of there and stuck them in here. So it's 71%. I think you can see what the problem is, right? The anesthesiologists are the bottleneck and the ORs are not. And so the fact that you pulled essentially is not getting around, the key problem here, which is that the anesthesiologists are the bottleneck. So these 2 pooling ideas didn't deliver much value. But in a complex, in a composite scenario where you are doing a number of different things, in general, the pooling should be able to deliver some value, maybe not much. It's not a silver bullet here, but it may add a little bit of value to, in the context of other changes. So to fully analyze this particular claim that this OR pooling idea doesn't really help, you'd have to run this thing multiple times with different seeds, but in this particular run, it seems that the ORs are only at 85, whereas the bottleneck, there's pain here, but much more pain with the anesthesiologist, and that would be using the theory of constraints, sort of a go-to place to look for improvements. Hope you enjoyed this one. We'll look at psychology matters and also variance hertz in the next 2 clips.